podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
So welcome everybody to the Premier League Cricket Show, and week 18 is done. There are 4 weeks of the Premier League season left to go. In some parts of the country, surprise, surprise, there's just 2. Because as we know, all of that great weather down south and you get to finish playing cricket earlier than everyone else. We say it every year and we won't get bored of it, will we? Hey, with me as always, Mr. Hugh Newsome. How are you doing, sir? As the parent of a finalist in a national competition.
Yeah, which I couldn't attend because I was doing Leicestershire women versus Middlesex women, which was interesting. The under 14. I've said before, the under 14 Derbyshire boys side are a seriously good side, and they've proved it. So they have beaten Warwickshire, they've beaten Notts, they've beaten Yorkshire, they've beaten Lancashire, along with everybody else. They haven't lost a competitive match this season, and they're playing Surrey in the final week on Wednesday at Attenborough. So yeah, they've got I think they've got a really good shout there. But the one caveat, I don't know much about the Surrey bowling, but they do have a lad called Dev Vadia. I don't know how to pronounce his surname, who probably is the best under 14 player in the country. So we'll see how that goes. So if we can nick him off early, that'd be nice. But he's got a tremendous record. So one of the best. They've just got. They're all good. Like there's no the Derbyshire side. They're all good. Like everybody. I think if you look at the scorecards for the last few weeks, I think that called Ethan got 60 this week. Probably big partnership there, but everyone's chipping in 20s, 30s. Yeah. They can all bowl, they can all bat, they can all field. They've got a great attitude. All state school lads. It's just a really, really good story. Well, they were state school lads till the private schools came dangling a few scholarships. So we'll brush over that one. But yeah, they're just a really, really good team, and they just find ways to win. You know, good teams do it. They just find ways to win. They never know when they're beat. And so I think they're kind of Surrey. A little bit nervous about that, but I'm looking at it and going, do you know what? I think Surrey have the pressure on them because they're Surrey. They've got nothing to lose. ECB are putting them up at a hotel the night before, which is really nice of them. A bit like with the Nationals. So yeah, both teams put up a hotel the night before with a spread so yeah, I don't think there's going to be a huge amount of sleeping going on. So not sure that's such a good idea. But anyway.
Hey, look forward to it. Can't wait for that, definitely.
Yeah.
And also with us this week again from Cric, Mr. Matt Taaffe, who it's fair to say was smiling on Saturday night.
Great win. I'm smiling as well. Georgie's gone on holiday for the week, so it was a Saturday night free pass. Next Saturday night's a free pass and a week to myself.
And for those who weren't listening last week, it was a big one that Blackpool had at the weekend, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was top of the league, and yeah, it was a really, really good win.
Yeah. Now, would it be remiss of me to say that whilst we are absolutely hoping to see your good friend Ali Usman play for Pakistan at Headingley, it's fair to say you don't miss him because Oki Erasmus did the job for you anyway, didn't he?
Yeah, about time. Done nothing for us previously, so it's about time he stepped up. But yeah, it was a tricky pitch. It was spinning. It was really dry at Blackpool. Like me and Boyne managed to sort of nurture it, and then they both. Boyne and Nocky went to work second innings to get the job done. So it was a massive win. Keeps us in contention for the top spot in 3 weeks' time. So we just physically can't afford to lose a game in our next 4.
Now, I've got to ask you, I was contacted by a club a week or so ago, and I was able to give them some information that potentially helped them. But I seem to remember you guys had a game abandoned not too long ago. And has that been sorted out yet, points-wise? Because looking around the country, anybody who has a game abandoned, the home side are penalised automatically because of the pitch. Have you had those points given back to you yet?
No. It's still classed as a no result, 3 points each.
Okay.
We've put an appeal in, but 8-9 weeks later, it's still ongoing. So again, unsure. We found 4 Premier League examples where it was a dangerous pitch. It was the away team was awarded full points instantly, really, or within the week.
Absolutely.
And like you say, we're still ongoing. So if we do get the additional 9 points that we've put in for our appeal, that'll put us, I think it's 3 or 4 points behind top spot. So it's a massive factor for our season going forward. So we'll just have to see. We put a bit of a strong appeal in, so hopefully the cricket gods are on our side. But I'm not backing it with it being 8 or 9 weeks' time, and we've still not got a decision, to be honest. So I don't know what's going on.
I can see this one going to, is it the Court of Sports Arbitration in
Court of
Zurich?
Arbitration for Sport, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely, the Northern Pyramid are going to be taken by Blackpool. Glees will pay for it, obviously. And he'll take them there for those 9 points, I think, by the end of the season.
Infantino's on the board, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, so just a few quid might have to change hands.
Absolutely, definitely.
I don't have the few quid.
Hey, it is tight at the top there, the Northern Prem. But let's just celebrate a couple of winners at the weekend, in particular to start with. So, the second team to win their Premier League in the country, unbeaten in the North East, South North. Congratulations, boys. Done a phenomenal job right through the season. It looks like you could be one of those sides who might just chip over to that unbeaten for the season. Love to see you do it, because it's obviously always a great thing to put on the record books. Down south, St Cross's Simeons last weekend. Although I've not seen anything on their social celebrating it yet, they now look well and truly home and dusted for the Southern Premier League. And then our old friends at Hoyland Swain, they have got enough points and they are champions elect. But I am told, off the record, inverted commas, that there is some potential points potentially that might be taken away, and so we won't celebrate that one just yet. But the boys were celebrating on Instagram in particular yesterday. A lot of the lads putting out posts because they won the Sykes Cup on Sunday and the league on Saturday. They're clearly the best side in the Huddersfield Prem, full stop. So well done to all of them. And by the way, they did that last weekend without Ben Kohler-Cadmore, who was busy representing Germany once again over in, I think it was Finland this time. So he's having some fun and games with that. So I think we've now got 4 Premier Leagues done, but we've still got quite a lot to look at from the weekend, including, Mr. Newsom, we've got another double 100.
Yeah, we've got a double 100 from Alistair Appleby, 224 not out. But I'm feeling a little bit sorry for Harrison Jones at Denby with 199 not out. In the North Wales Cricket League against Warden Park, stranded on 199. But yeah, Alistair Appleby for Felling against Benwell Hill, 158 balls. That was rather decent. But Bryce Parsons 172. He's quite a good player, isn't he? Still nobody ever with a double 100 in the Lancs League, so that's right up there. Luke Webb, his name seems to be coming up a lot this year for Wimborne. He's got 164 not out, and Nabi Gul 161. Imran Hassan, Newport 160. Ryan Gibson at Martin 157. Ben Heap 152 for Lower House against Liverpool. That is a seriously high scoring game, that one, with 2 150 plus scores in it. And Kabelu Sekunhune for Eckington 150 against Oral was in the Derbyshire League. Those are the 9 150 plus scores this weekend. But yeah, that Littleborough Lower House game looks like quite a performance now.
It certainly was a game, that one. And you know, I've got to say that on Sunday, obviously most games are on the Saturday, the Premier League, but on the Sunday the Lancashire League were playing, and I was in touch with Adam down at Lower House, and it's fair to say they were quite happy after Ben Heap had scored 152 the week after he announced he's stepping down as skipper at Lower House after I think it's 9 years. But then it's fair to say that Mr. Adam Hope was watching this game on the stream because he was away on holiday. And I'm going to use the simple word that he basically was shitting himself, because Bryce Parsons, 172 off 99 balls, was going absolutely bananas. And at one point, they were so far ahead of the run rate, you were thinking the boys are going to come in and just sort of knock it around for 3 and over, and they're going to get there from Littleborough. Quite a remarkable game. And I think it's another one of those ones, Hugh, that we've got to do some work on this in the winter, I think. The amount of runs being scored in some of these leagues, like the Lancashire League, the North Staffs and South Cheshire League, the Manchester League, you know, there was a 300 plus chase in the Manchester League at the weekend. We've just not seen these before. Now, we know the weather's been great and the pitches are great, but yeah, I'll ask you, Taaffe, as a regular Premier League player, are you seeing that it's not just that there is a change in the way people are playing now?
Yeah, massively. Sort of, especially the younger lads, there's just sort of no fear in them, is there? Like,
Yeah,
usually you get teams 6, 7 down, and it was sort of inevitable that it'd be you just fly through them, but it's not now. If lads are just chancing their arm and they're able to put a little bit of a cameo on end and get you close or get you over the line, and it's just a complete different mindset. I don't have it. I'll happily go at a strike rate of 40 or 50 inch. But
That Bryce Parsons innings, I mean, he was well on for the first double hundred in the Lancs League there, wasn't he? Which is a bit of a shame. It was 172. He was out in the 30th over. 172 off 99 balls in the Lancashire League. That is some going. I mean, he could have knocked it around and won the game for them. He's obviously kept going. It was working for him.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, Littleborough had a real pile on at the end. They looked very well set to chase that down, and they lost four quick wickets, including 3 in 6 balls at the end there,
exactly.
which is a bit of a shame.
Yeah,
So funny scorecard all round though, because Bryce Parsons has got 172, but for Lower House, only really Ben Williamson's been able to chip in with more than 20 odd, and there's quite a few ducks and ones and twos and things knocking about. And that's a little bit. And then for Lower House, it's kind of similar. We've got Ben Heaper's on 150 and Henry Cotton's got 50, but everyone else is a smattering. You know, they've done a bit. It's a bit more consistent in Lower House's innings, but yeah, it's like a couple of lads made it look very, very easy on the day.
absolutely. And the number 2 batter in the week, as we say, Harrison Jones up at Denby. I'm going to have to say, spare a thought for Harrison Jones. He went into that last over of the 50 overs in that North Wales Premier League game, and he was on 193 when he went into that last over. He scored a single. Archie Sussex gave him the strike back. Harrison took another single. Archie Sussex hit a 4 instead of giving it back to Harrison Jones. And then Archie got dismissed on a run out, clearly trying to give the strike back to Harrison. And he had one chance in the end. He had one ball to hit that magical 200 and hit a 4 instead of a 6. I've got to ask, though, Archie, could you really have made sure that he was on strike a bit more in that? There was a possibility not to hit a 4 on the 4th ball. Being critical here, you're on a huge total. And again, North Wales. Yeah, North Wales again. Some big totals there this year that we've not seen before. And I know, looking at the weekend myself, there was a 300 chase, say, in the Manchester League, a 300 chase in the Huddersfield League, and I'm sorry, Mr. Nick Anderson. Didsbury were on the back end of the biggest chase in the country for the 2nd week running, with Nantwich chasing down. Didsbury scored 344, and Nantwich had chased that down with 5 or 6 overs to spare. 2 weeks back to back, Didsbury scoring 320, 340 and being chased down. Just closing that top of the table in the Cheshire League really nicely, actually. But you've got to be gutted with that, haven't you, Matt, to be chased down twice back to back.
the question in me bowlers.
Ooh, Nick Anderson.
But the outfields are like glass, though, aren't they? It's just anything. It's beat the infield, it's 4.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't like to be. I dread to think what our change would be like if we had back-to-back 300 plus chases against us. That's for sure. I think Skipper would blow a fuse.
Well, talking about glass outfields, one of our favourite grounds in the country, our favourite leagues in the country, as we know, for top runs, is the East Anglia League. And they were at the opposite end of the scale this week, where the fastest finish of the week happened. And I was busy watching the scores on our new app, Hugh, and I know you'll pick it up on 1 or 2 bits and pieces as well, but I'm also going, this can't be happening. It was so quick to see Ashmore and Barton Wanderers bowled out for 67, and then Downham Stowe knocking them off in 10 overs. The Wilcox brothers, all 3 chipping in. Arthur Wilcox 4 for 15, Finn Wilcox 38 not out, Ben Wilcox 27 not out. Again, random score even in East Anglia, that one, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the one that caught my text you on Saturday was the Cockney game, because they bowled Caythorpe out for 75, and they got there in 24 overs, 9 down, which is just like, what's happened there? With all these pitches and outfields, like you say, how is Cockney 9 down chasing 75? But they got there, but it was an absolute scrap over the line, that one. So yeah, a crazy game. That game actually went 50 overs in total, so I suspect the wicket was spicy. shall we say?
I think that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
There was certainly some games that just threw you at the weekend, in particular around the country. The other one that threw me, and I picked up on this one yesterday, Horwich RMI, 78 all out. Woodbank, 69 all out. Guys, we're seeing 300 plus around the country. Shaw were chased down by Denton West with 300 in the Greater Manchester League. Just down the road, Woodbank and Horwich RMI don't get to 150 between them practically. It's the randomness of the scores right now is quite almost unbelievable. And I'll take it to a professional game. You look at the 100 finals at the weekend, where one was quite a tight one, and the other one, the women's game is being knocked off in 60 balls with 40 to spare. Everything seems to be extreme right now, doesn't it?
Yeah, you've got a couple of decent bowlers there. Wade King's done all right there in that Horwich game. He's got 6 for. And then on the other side of the spectrum, you've got Evan Williams. He's got 4 for 8. Brett Pelter 3 for 19. Louis Johnson 3 for 36. So yeah, there's the wickets tumbling in that game. But yeah, 6 for 43 for Wade King. Rich Dem's got 4 for 30 as well. So I think you've got some good players. Evan Williams with his 15 in Horwich's RMI, and then 4 for 8 is the match-winning contribution there. In terms of useful 15s, that's right up there to go with his wickets.
Absolutely. Now, the one thing that you have missed out on there, Mr. Newsom, and before we talk Cric ex-batters, you have missed out on one of your favourites, which of course is in the game I've spoke about at Ashburn and Barton Wanderers and Downham Stowe. Freddie Ferry, we've given you plenty of plaudits over the years, but having 67 to chase down, you lasted 2 balls, you were out for a duck, and then Finn and Ben Wilcox came and just did it as though it was a piece of cake. Sorry, Freddie, mate. Maybe you'd be better off back in the northeast, I think, at university. But you know what? It's one of those things that happen, isn't it? Definitely. Let's look at your lot. What we got for Cric X with those batters at the weekend, mate? Because there were definitely some Premier League boys again.
Yeah, big weekend from our mob again. Load of big runs. Hugh mentioned it before. Naby Gulf Kirkburton leads the way for us, 160. Mandeep Singh, Castle Eden, 133. And then Yash Kathari, 121 in reply off 99 to win it for them. So 2 cricket slags going head to head, 2 Indian boys going head to head, and Yash has come out on top with Ashington. Hundreds for Ankit Kelsey at Edgerton. That's his 3rd 100 in a row. We think it's a first for the GMCL for a pro. I don't know if you've got any stats at your end on that one, Hugh.
No, I haven't got historical GMCL because they only started putting him on a couple of years ago, so it's hard to pull that one out. But, yeah.
Right, we'll go with that then. We'll pump his tyres up and give him that one. But yeah, 300s in a row for him. He's come real good at the back end of the season, over 1,000 runs now. But yeah, Tevin Walcott at Al Riwaz, 129 for him. Adil Amin, 130 for Cannock. Imesh Udanga for Lindfield, 152 for him. Will Clark at Bromley Common, the New Zealand, he's gone 106. He also got, I think he got a 32 ball 100 on Sunday as well, playing Sunday team. So he's bullied some young lads there. But no, yeah, another big weekend of runs. And a lot of unbeaten runs as well, second innings runs, which is great to see. So the lads are getting the teams over the line.
Absolutely. And I think there does seem to be that classic cream rising to the top towards the end of the season. I'm going to bring out a friend of the pod who's been on here a couple of times. He's only been on here for when he's been skipper at Dorset. But his league form right now for Luke Webb is absolutely phenomenal. He's 164 not out last week for Wimborne, 121 not out the week before. He'd failed, inverted commas, the week before that with a 23. And before that, it was 153 not out. In 4 league innings, he scored over 450 runs in his last 4 league innings. I would say, never mind Abhishek Reddy and your little friend down at Webb, Luke Webb is possibly the form batter in the country right now to be doing that down the Dorset League. Unfortunately for him, he didn't quite help to get Wimborne across the line in the National T20 area final. St Cross and Simeons did that. But keep going, Lukey, mate. It's really impressive numbers there, to say the least.
Yeah, so just on Luke Webb, I mean, there's a bit of a shift in his sort of batting over the last year.
Yeah.
Just looking across all of his play cricket, last year he averaged 19, this year he's averaging 70. So something has clicked this season. Obviously, playing for Wimbledon, he's averaging 98 across all Wimbledon first team. So yeah, it's just the shift from Bournemouth has been a successful one.
Let's talk about something that is just wound me up at the weekend a little bit. Big scores are great. There's no two ways about it. And, we always talk Premier League cricket, and there's a slight tangent to this one, but you'll see where I'm going with it. One of the things that did happen at the weekend in the Derbyshire Cricket League was somebody scored 300. I'm sure you picked up on that, Hugh. Well done to Asim at Chellaston for scoring 300. But it was Division 4. And every season for the last 8 or 9 seasons, he's been playing Premier League or First Division cricket. Where do you stand on players dropping down 3 or 4 leagues and basically destroying teams, Hugh?
Well, it's an interesting one, isn't it? Look, if people want to come and play, they can play wherever they like. We had a game in Division, I want to say it was Division 9 a few years back. We were just, I think I was filling in for our thirds, I think. I can't remember why. And a lad that had played in Sheffield Division 1 had the South Yorkshire League Division 1 and done well, played in that game, and we lost about 30 cricket balls. He hit, I measured a 6 he hit, it was over 100 metres. But in that game, we had quite a few sort of 13-year-olds playing and quite a few 60-year-olds playing. It was a proper village game, and it was unsafe. It was genuinely unsafe. The game was finished in 12 overs, I think, might be 13 overs, and we put 200 on the board. So they got 200 in 12 30. It's a very small ground. We got a very long straight and no. This is our second ground, and it was genuinely unsafe. I think in Division 4, I don't think you'd get that situation. So I don't think it's too bad. Division 4, generally, there's some good cricketers in Division 4, so I don't think it's a safety issue. But yeah, if he wants to get 300, he wants to get 300 in that league. It's that's so I don't have too much of a problem with it. Probably in there, it's the first team, Chellaston's first team. It's a tiny ground, isn't it, Chellaston? I've never actually played there, but I think it's probably just about all right.
Just about all right.
Just about all right. And I think if you're that good, if they're going to build that club and take them higher up, then you've got to start somewhere, and it happens, doesn't it? So yeah, I think that's fine. That where I have a problem is where you've got people who are clearly miles better than playing completely in the wrong division, not against first teamers, due to whatever reason, and there's a safety issue. But I don't, Division 4, someone's clobbering you over the place. Everyone could catch in Division 4. Division 10, you nail a ball at someone's nose at speed, then there's a reasonable chance it's going to hit that nose. Whereas,
but it brings me around to my favourite subject: eligibility rules. Now, yes. we know that in our league, if he'd have played X number of games at a higher level during the season, he would not be allowed to drop down. However, because it was prior seasons, do what you want. And one of the things I've had said to me in the last few weeks by a number of people is that as part of this ECB strategic review, if they could get one thing straight, it would be to make sure that eligibility rules, so shall we call them off the pitch rules, are the same around the country. And I'm going to throw this one at you, Taaffe, as well, because I've picked up on one in the Northern Pyramid this weekend, where the first team captain of Kendal and their second highest wicket taker of the year drops down to play for the second team in, I think it's the Westmoreland League. Now, the Westmoreland League is part of the pyramid, but then why is he allowed to do? I just don't understand how someone could drop down to a level 2 or 3 levels below and just basically get away with it.
I think so, yeah. I don't know the dynamic of the reason why Millers has dropped down to the 2s. It's happened a couple of times now, so I don't know if there's a little bit of a sort of tradition going on there. But yeah, Millsy's too good to go and play for Kendall Twos in the Westmoreland League. So I'm not quite sure, but there's got to be something. I know, like you say, our opening bowler, Matt Grinley, was injured. He wanted to come back for a couple of games in the twos, but he couldn't because of eligibility reasons. So that there's little sway to that counterbalance as well.
Yeah.
Just lads wanting to get overs in to test out to see if they're fit enough to come back to first team cricket. But yeah, I think there might have to be a bit of a reason why he's
Yeah.
dropping down. Like say, if you can fill in saying X is going to play in the twos this week as a fitness test, can we have clearance for that? You just whether that's a way to go or it's a bit too much admin, you don't know. But it is a bit weird.
Yeah, definitely. And I think I'll bring it round to another subject that I'm on my high horse about at the moment, and it's something that is really starting to irritate the hell out of me around grounds I go to. It's the fact that disciplinary is taken in different ways in different places. I am absolutely sick and tired of seeing players swearing, shouting in the middle of the pitch, and umpires just walking away, and not saying a word. And I've seen it from Prem level down to Div 4 this season. And again, is that what we're missing, Hugh, this equilibrium? And is it partly down to the fact that, let's be brutal about this, all the leagues do their own things and not all of them are open with, for example, who's on disciplinary, who's not, who's got level 1, who's got level 2. Where some leagues you can see it very clearly, some leagues you can't.
Yeah, I know that. You talk to the boys coming over from Australia, it's very, very different there. They are incredibly hot on disciplinary and anything. You get bans at a drop of a hat. So I think it's very variable. You've just got to remember that these umps are paid absolutely bugger all. They're sitting in the field all day and they're getting 60 quid. It's like £5 an hour, and it's after travel. It's rubbish. The one thing that annoyed me this week was umpires vaping around junior games. That wasn't pretty. So we've got an umpire having a vape right in amongst some young ones playing cricket. That's not good. So yeah, that's not what we want to see. But
absolutely.
I think in terms of umpires and there's not enough of them. It's a tough job. We all moan about them. It's a bit like football refs, isn't it? But you're paying them £5 an hour. What do you expect?
I'll put it out there. I will tell any league in the country, if you want me to sit on the edge of a ground and to give you an overview of what good umpires do and what bad umpires do, more than happy to do it. We spend a lot of time around cricket at the very top level, as you do now, Hugh, as well. And you can see the way the management of players is done. And I think that's the issue, that umps are there to enforce the law. But if they can't manage the game, and I know you had issues with time management on Sunday, with the game that you were at. This is where the big thing. You've got to manage that game all the way through. Have you, Taaffe, seen? You've been back and forth to Australia over the last few years. Have you seen a change in the last 2 or 3 years in particular with that behaviour? Just seems to be getting, let's be blunt about it, worse.
Yeah, never so in the Liverpool comp, it was never really came across sort of level 1s and level 2s. Like you say, there is always them that come about, but never came across them personally. I know I sort of prided myself and my team on sort of doing the right thing and stuff. But like I say, since coming across the Northern League, there's been a fair few, that's for sure. We've copped a couple of level 1s for sort of next to nothing, and then, like you say, you touched on, we've had a couple of instances where it's been other players and they've sort of got away scot-free with it, and so you just don't know. It's noticed a little bit more since coming to the Northern League, a bit more.
So let me leave it with this one. Guess which league I picked up on over the last couple of days does put their level 1s and 2s out onto their website? The Liverpool and District.
Yeah,
now, is it because they put them out there that it's seen as got to be a bit more careful, because you don't want your name going out there and being sick, because automatically everyone picks up on it then, don't they?
Yeah, I think it's a good thing from the league administrators, to be honest. It gives you sort of a clue what's going on. But yeah, you won't like to see Matt Taaffe on there, level 2, swearing or throwing a bat.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, this is the situation you got. You see, when people search their Twitter history, if you get an important job, Facebook, people search and they go, 3 months later, a bit like Ollie Robinson back in the day. So you've applied for head of sales at ICI or whatever, and then 3 months later it comes up that someone types your name into Google, disciplinary, Liverpool and district, swearing, sorry,
Yeah.
sacked.
Yeah, done. Yeah.
Sacked.
Hey,
So
listen,
that's it.
if the
Swearing
chancellor,
at spectators walking off,
Yeah,
done.
yeah.
if the chancellor of this country could get away with being a tea lady in a bank and saying she was an investment banker, hey ho, everyone's been doing it, haven't they? Hey, let's get back to the cricket on the pitch, shall we? And let's have a look at those bowlers for the weekend, Hugh, because I'm quite disappointed, Hugh. We only got 7-fers.
Yeah, well, there's plenty of 6-fers. I mean, it's just. I think a lot's got to go right to get more than, you've got to be a damn good bowler, and then you've got to get a bit lucky to get anything more than a 7-fer, haven't you? I mean, it's it's just they don't come along very often, no matter how well you bowl. But yeah, Lalith Akajuru, Lalith Akaraju, there we go, Lalith Akaraju, 7 for 20 for Richmondshire in just 8 overs. That is something special. That Josh Napton at Cleethorpes, 7 for 35 in 13 against Wakefield Thorns. Thomas Stones, Bishop Auckland in the North Yorkshire South Durham League, he's got 7 for 61 and 12. Sangeeth Kure for Darwin, 6 for 17. Ben Arnold, 6 for 22. Tom Bailey, also 6 for 22. That's Stony Stratford and Middleton, respectively, in the North and Sussex leagues. Toby Finney's got 6 for 29. Ockart Erasmus. I expect you enjoyed watching that one, Matt, didn't you? 6 for 32 in the Northern Pyramid. And Wade King, we've mentioned both of those already, 6 for 43 for Woodbank at Horwich. And then number 10 is a lad called Brad Schmulian for Woodlands against Morley in the Bradford League, 6 for 44 in just 11 overs. But yeah, some serious bowling there, and everyone's doing it pretty quickly today or this weekend.
Yeah, and I think Brad Schmulian is top of the all-rounders this week as well. With that 6-fer, he goes and scores 128 not out in Woodland's victory over Morley. He's got to be up there, Hugh, in the top 2 or 3 all-rounders in the country, hasn't he?
Always, yeah. I mean, he's 36 now, getting on a bit. First class average of 40. He's got a list day average of 46 this is with the bat. First class bowling average of 27. 52 wickets at 27. So he's just a serious cricketer, isn't he? One of the very best to grace our shores in terms of pros over the last however long he's been playing there, which is quite a while now, I think.
Yeah, most definitely.
Play cricket card. It goes back to 2019, but it could well have been. There might be another card of his before that.
Absolutely. And just a couple of other fifers that I picked up on over the weekend as well. Jack Almond and Liam Crooks at Saltburn, both taking fifer. And that was without any help before anyone says, they are proper fifers in the Premier League.
I bet there was some words there, but I bet they've just absolutely copped it over the last few weeks.
Do you know, I feel for the boys at Saltburn, because of one or however many people, what they did, we're now finding.
I'm sure it was just one. Yeah, I'm sure it was just one. I'm sure nobody else was involved. Yeah.
But they've still got their bloody comments blocked on their Facebook and Instagram pages because they just know people are piling on. It's ridiculous. We even had somebody commenting on a post that we'd put about Saltburn 4 weeks previously. Like, come on, guys, just leave it. Also, we talked about Kendall earlier. Louis Backhouse with a fifer. Some names never go away. Liam Banks with a fifer for Hemheath. Khalid Usman with a fifer, and he's top of the wicket takers in the whole of the country now at Rainhill. And the other one that I thought was interesting, Harry Singh picking up a fifer for Wigan against Newton Le Willows. That was quite a good game there as well. So there's plenty going on around the country bowlers-wise. But for the first time in a while, Hugh, 73 centuries, 52 fifers. Now, that's the biggest disparity of the entire season.
Yeah. Well, it's a road out there, isn't it? And it's the outfield is absolutely like glass. So it's just, as Matt said, it's just you tickle one and it's gone. I mean, I hit a cover drive, which I hardly ever do on the weekend, and I stopped on it. It looked pretty, and it flew to the boundary. I was like, bloody hell. That's normally a 1 or a dot.
Was it back foot because you pulled out from a pull?
No, it was just perfect. Just got my head to, but I can't hit through the line of the ball. It goes all wrong. So I had to stop on it. So if I've got pace on the ball, I'm all right. And it just touchdown. That was good. Don't hit them very often. Yeah, normally it's just stopped in the long grass and hit a cow on the way through or something like that. But,
and there's none of that whatsoever.
I think this would just chucked it down here, and I think the north of the country's had a fair bit of rain over the last few days. Yeah. So I reckon we might see a bit of difference next weekend.
Absolutely. Come on then. What about the bowlers, Mr. Cric X? What did you guys? I don't know. Again, we've got some nice Premier League stuff in there.
Yeah, going on about things have to go right. I actually haven't had a league wicket for Blackpool in 2 years. I've only bowled 4 overs, and the 4 overs were at Col McConkie, and I only went at 6s. So I think I'm due some more overs, to be honest. So
at this point,
Taaffe bowling watch will be the ticker.
Yeah,
my leg is a decent. I'm telling you, my leg spin is decent. But
why have they got Oki Erasmus where they could just put you on more?
Well, probably don't want me coming on here saying I've had a 6-for. We've had a couple of 6-fors. Nimesh Gunasinghe at Church, Hassan Dimundu at Tong 6-for, and then Heshan Hetiarachi Chi at Potton 6-for-16 for him. And then just an abundance of 5-fors. Nishan Perez, time and time again for Exton, 5-for. Ahmed Khan at Oakamore, 5-for. Ramesh Budikar at Royton, 5-for. Primial Pereira at West Hearts, Sinesh Fernando at Droylsden, and then Budika Sanjeev at Shelley all picked up 5-fors. An awful lot of 4-fors. We've had 4-for-5s, 4-for-9s, 4-for-8s. So an awful lot of looking like they're wrapping up the tail there.
And in terms of the amount of pros you've got left in the country going into that 4 weeks, are we down to I'm not going to say the bare minimum, but are we down to now our Bangladeshi boys, the Pakistani boys, Indians?
Yeah, you're down to you don't want to say drips and drabs, but you sort of had your drips and drabs at this stage of the summer. It's still a good chunk of cricketers still in the country, but it has dwindled, especially over the last 2 weeks. I know a few more are going to their last game this weekend. So coming up to sort of early September, there is hardly going to be any, which is disappointing. But it is just the way cricket and world cricket is going for these overseas professionals. They just make up these camps, I'm sure of it, especially the Pakistan Cricket Board come back for a 5-week white ball camp. Blows my mind.
Or end up playing in the 100, being the leading wicket taker, and go and play in the European T20 afterwards, Mr. Gleeson.
Yeah, what a farce that is. Could be with us for the running, but he's going to go play on some. Is it? I don't even know. I've not even seen much of it that they're heading to. But yeah, you got to sort your priorities out, really.
Oh, Glees. Yeah, it was good to say hello to him last week at Edgbaston. And the first thing he said was a good win that weekend, the Carlisle one. It just, that summed up you for me, what these professional cricketers are like. They know where they come from, most of them, don't they?
Oh, well, it shows you that Premier League is where they emerge out of the ground, isn't it? Premier League is where it's at. And they've all got their roots in it, pretty much.
Absolutely.
Very few cricketers don't have their roots in it that come from this country. So,
Thunder. Sorry, I think you were freezing there on me. I think I've cut you off.
Yeah. No, what I was going to say is that I feel like the ECB get good value for money, Ian, out of these ECB Premier Leagues, don't you think?
I think they get ridiculous value for money, and they get even better value for money out of the Premier League Cricket Club. But that goes without saying, doesn't it? Definitely so. Talking of Premier League and the grassroots game now, I've got to ask you a question now, Taaffe. How's your knees and your elbows and your shoulders? And you're a bit grazed and sort of a bit messy at the moment.
I'm absolutely buggered. Like, my body is just done for, and I'm sure I can speak for a lot of cricketers out there. But right. I've had the same cut on my knee, elbow, hip for 6 weeks now. Just white, sustained blood from the second over. Scab comes straight off.
So when you hear that the grassroots rugby boys have put their league season back by 2 weeks because the ground's too hard.
Yeah. Keep quiet, these rugby lads. Yeah. Stay away from these rugby lads already.
It got 10,000 views on our Instagram straight away.
I'm all for rugby lads not playing on rock hard surfaces because one of my cricketers managed to concuss himself very, very badly playing on a rock hard surface at the end of last season. And
What I find funny though, Hugh, is rugby league still play right through the summer.
Well, it's just because of Sky, isn't it? Yeah, that's what it's all about. Yeah, well, they didn't want it clashing with Super Rugby down south or whatever it's called.
It's one of those strange ones.
Yeah,
definitely. Hey, we're coming towards the end of this week's show, and we're a little bit rushed for time this week, but I want to talk about the real big games that are happening this weekend. So, whilst the Premier League will be doing what it does on Saturday, and I will be watching the West of England Premier League in particular, because there are still, I think, 6 or 7 sides can win it. It's still ridiculously close. They're all beating each other. I will be at Smethwick on Sunday. It's the ECB National Club Championship semi-finals. Smethwick at home to Newfarnley, and Sawston and Babraham at home to Shepherd's Bush. Discuss, Mr. Hugh Newsom, who wins Smethwick versus Newfarnley.
Newfarnley.
Mr. Matt Taaffe, who wins Sawston versus Shepherd's Bush.
Sawston.
Yeah, I've got a feeling Sawston will as well.
Yeah,
I'm feeling some in EAPL action in the final there.
Good run of form though they're on, definitely. Shepherd's Bush, I do think, are a side that, a little bit like Ormskirk last year, a little bit like Newfarnley in particular, always seem to find a way to win. Whereas Smethwick, if they go off, you just know they're going to beat everyone. If it goes off for them, they're going to beat absolutely everyone. And it's that classic old situation, isn't it, where every side's got 2 or 3 superstars, but it's what's below that surface coming together. Fingers crossed. I'm hoping the rain actually just helps the pitches at both grounds to just change the game a little bit to what we've had over the last few weeks. Could be interesting, Taff.
Well, it's absolutely poured down here last night. Wind, rain, thunder. So I don't know if it's reached you last night, but we've
had some of it.
It's poured it down. So get a bit more grass in and save my knees.
Absolutely.
I've just been scanning league tables, and it is remarkable how many are very, very close. Just running through. Links League, 1 point between Scunny and Bourne. You've got 2 points in the Hearts League against Harpen and Totteridge. You've got 2 points in the Whipple between Dumbleton and Bridgewater. That was a bit closer last week, but Midsummer aren't far away either. Then you've got 4 points in the Sussex Leagues against Roffey Middleton. There's 4 points between those two. There is 3 points between Netherfield and Leyland. Obviously, Blackpool chasing up there. In the North Hants League, there's only 10 points between Stony Stratford and Fine and Dolben, who are actually in second at this stage of the season, which is always a rarity. There's 5 points between Richmondshire and Barnard Castle. There are 1 point between Brimbones and Asaph in North Wales. 2 points between Newlyn Willows and Formby in the Liverpool district. 5 points between Rothley and Leicester, Ivanhoe and Leicester. And there's a couple more. 5 points between Oxford Downs, High Wycombe and Home Counties. 10 points between Chelmsford and Hutton and Essex, Hutton top at the moment. East Anglian Premier League, there's 4 teams within 2 points at the top. Sawston the top 362, Copdock are fourth with 360. That one's going all over the place. What's happening in Dorset? Because that one's not come through properly. Devon is... Devon's not quite so tight. There's 10 points, 11 points, Nantwich and Hyde in Cheshire, but the Didsbury are also there on the same points. Bit more of a gap in Birmingham, but it's still tight. There's only 1 win, 297, 311 between Smethwick and Nolan Dorridge, and 8 points in Bradford against Newfarnley. Townville with Woodlands very, very close behind. So there's some seriously close leagues. I'd say more than ever, I feel, at this stage of the season.
Totally agree. And if I was to pick out one game to watch at the weekend, it's our friends at Oxford Downs, who I was with at the end of last season. They take the trip this Saturday to the league leaders, High Wycombe, 5 points behind. Oxford Downs last weekend beat Finchampstead in 3rd place. So it's now effectively a 2-horse race, it potentially looks like, between High Wycombe, Oxford Downs and the home counties. But that should be some scrap between those two. It was a good game I saw down at Oxford Downs last year, and this one's at High Wycombe. It's the reverse this time round. So some great games to finish. It's almost as though, Hugh, we're going to go down to that last week of the season in possibly as many as half of the leagues at the moment.
I hope so. Yeah, that was one actually I didn't mention. Penzance, Wadebridge in Cornwall. That's 5 points as well. So, we're looking about 60% of the leagues are still very, very close with the odd blowout chucked in. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I just hope it keeps going right to the end of the season. Like you say, if we can have an absolute showdown on the last day, that would be great.
Well, I've got showdowns, as I say, with the ECB National Championship on Sunday. Then the week after, we're almost now at that stage where the regional finals will be there for the T20. And would you believe 4 out of the next Sundays are occupied by ECB national semi-finals and finals. Now, that tells me the end of the season's coming. But we're not that far off from Wormsley on the 13th and from Worcester on the 20th, where we round the season off. Mr. Taaffe, where are you at this weekend?
We're at home to Settle.
Okay.
They're bottom of the league. They did beat Garstang, who were third on Saturday. So it's a tricky fixture. They've got a very good Indian overseas amateur. Very, very good. So hopefully we can get him out early and do the job. And then we've got a trip to Kendal and Garstang away on bank holiday weekends. So it's two tough games to go up there to sort of see us home, really. But yeah, see how we get on.
Will Chris Miller be playing for Kendal? That's the big question.
God knows. Well, he hit me on the shins. Hopefully he doesn't.
I would be looking to hit you somewhere else, I think, by the sounds of things. Mr. Newsom, what you got this week?
I'm doing Derbyshire games. I'm not playing. Yeah, I've got Derbyshire, Durham, Ben Stokes o'clock. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Ben Stokes o'clock. Oh, I assume he's playing unless he's playing the test team, which he could well do. I mean, based on anything,
we never know.
Could quite happily turn up in the test team, couldn't he? Captaining. But yeah, I'm assuming he's playing for Durham. So that's Thursday to Sunday. Will Derbyshire roll out an absolute road, which is, I think, yes, it's probably going to be the Astor. They're going to be playing draw cricket from day one, I suspect. But,
which is not what you want, is it, in the slightest?
No, it's not. But you know what? I'm going to try and sneak down and have a word with the old Ben and say hello. So we'll do that. Durham boys are good lads. And the one thing I found from the county championship myself is it's so relaxed. You know, they play hard on the pitch, but it's relaxed and it's a great atmosphere. So it's really good stuff. So great to see you guys. I'll be busy, as I say, the weekend. I'm down at Smethwick on Sunday. And listen out for an extra show on Friday this week, where we should have at least 3, if not 4, players from the semi-finalists. See you later, guys. Cheers now. Cheers, gents.
See you guys.
Thanks for joining us at the Premier League Cricket Club. We'll be back soon with more from the world of Premier League and NWCA cricket. But in the meantime, don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review and follow us wherever you get your socials. Or maybe check out our website, premierleaguecricket.co.uk, to stay updated. Until next time, have a good one.
There she goes, our baby.
Are we ready for this?
You added her to your AAA auto policy. With 24/7 claim support, she's covered.
Our AAA agent, you're here too?
We're always here for you. Visit AAA.com/insurance to get a quote today.